Hey there, bookworms. Welcome back to Books and Bytes. You know our motto, your daily shortcut to wisdom. And today we're diving deep into Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life.
This one's really cool.
It is.
It's really cool because it promises not just a concept, but a blueprint for a life, with purpose and joy.
It's fascinating, right?
Yeah.
This book blends ancient wisdom with modern research.
It does, to make this really compelling case for finding your Ikigai.
Yeah, so for those of you who haven't heard this word before, what exactly is Ikigai?
It's essentially your reason for being,
Okay.
like your unique purpose in this world.
Uh-huh.
And the book describes it visually. Have you ever seen a Venn diagram?
Yes.
Where your passion, your skills, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for all intersect.
Yes. And I can see how finding that sweet spot could be totally life-changing.
For sure.
And speaking of long lives,
Yes.
this book takes us to Okinawa, Japan,
Okinawa.
which is home to so many centenarians.
The most. One of.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
So how does their lifestyle connect to this idea of Ikigai?
So it's not just about living long.
Okay.
It's about living well. And the Okinawans seem to have mastered this.
Right.
So they have a plant-based diet, largely. They practice mindful eating by stopping at 80% full.
80% full. Wow.
It's called harahachibu.
Interesting.
And they stay active through gardening and walking and martial arts.
Wow.
But they also prioritize strong social connections through moai,
Boy.
which are these lifelong groups of friends who give each other emotional and financial support.
I mean, it sounds like they've woven this idea of Ikigai into their lives.
They have.
But what I find really interesting is it's not like some strict, joyless regimen.
No, absolutely. The book really emphasizes finding joy in everyday activities.
Uh-huh.
It talks about this feeling of complete absorption of being in the zone.
Okay.
Have you ever felt that?
Yes.
Psychologists call that flow state.
Flow state.
Yeah, imagine pursuing something that you're passionate about, whether it's art, writing, or even just like solving problems and feeling that sense of effortless engagement.
Absolutely.
Have you ever felt that?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does this flow state tie back into Ikigai and the Okinawan lifestyle?
I'm curious about that too.
So think about those Okinawan centenarians, right?
Yes.
Tending their gardens, practicing martial arts, or even just like hanging out with their moai.
Right.
These aren't chores or obligations for them.
Oh, interesting.
They're activities that bring them joy and purpose and a sense of belonging.
That makes sense.
It's part of their life.
So for the rest of us who haven't quite found our Ikigai yet,
Sure.
the book also mentions stress reduction and anti-aging techniques.
Yes.
Are those connected?
They are. So the book actually dives into the science behind how chronic stress can speed up aging.
Oh, wow.
And then it suggests practices like meditation and decluttering to combat this.
Okay.
It also introduces this Japanese concept called wabi-sabi.
Wabi-sabi.
Yeah, finding beauty in imperfection. Can you imagine like embracing simplicity, accepting flaws, and focusing on what really matters?
Right.
That mindset shift can really like significantly reduce your stress.
So you're saying that finding our Ikigai could actually help us live longer?
Well, it's not just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years, right?
Okay.
And when you're living a life full of purpose and passion and joy, it just naturally reduces stress and promotes well-being, both of which contribute to a longer and healthier life.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do we go about actually discovering our own Ikigai?
This is the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
So the book offers a few practical steps.
Okay.
It all starts with self-reflection, asking yourself these 4 key questions. What do you love? What are you good at? What does the world need? And what can you get paid for?
These questions sound simple, but
They are.
But I can see how taking the time to really answer those, honestly, could be a real eye-opener.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But what if you're feeling stuck?
The book encourages you to experiment.
Okay.
Try new things, explore different hobbies, volunteer in your community. You never know what might spark that feeling of passion and purpose.
So it's not necessarily about like finding the perfect job right away or like your big life mission.
Exactly. It could be something small like reconnecting with a childhood hobby or discovering a new passion for gardening.
I like that.
Yeah. Ikigai doesn't have to be a grand revelation.
Right.
It can be a series of small joys and meaningful moments that kind of gradually lead you towards a more fulfilling life.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like, following those little breadcrumbs one at a time.
Yeah.
and they all lead to a bigger picture.
Totally.
So the book also lays out like 10 rules of Ikigai,
Right.
which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
And so these rules like offer a framework for cultivating a life that, embraces Ikigai. And one that particularly resonated with me was stay active, don't retire.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the Okinawan centenarians who find purpose in their daily activities.
Absolutely.
No matter what their age is.
It's about staying engaged,
Yeah.
right? Like finding flow in everyday activities.
And it really does challenge the traditional idea of retirement.
It does.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not about just stopping everything.
Yeah.
It's about finding ways to stay engaged.
I'll keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, even simple ones like gardening or spending time in nature.
Yeah, absolutely. And that leads us to another rule,
Okay.
which is take it slow, don't rush.
Oh, yeah.
This reminds us to be present and savor the moments
Mhm.
and appreciate the journey, not just the destination.
Love that one.
It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life
It is.
that we forget to like slow down and appreciate the small things.
Be present. Yeah.
But I'm curious, how can we apply these rules to our own lives, especially when it comes to finding our Ikigai?
So it's all about, incorporating those small, sustainable changes. So maybe it's starting your day with a few minutes of mindfulness, connecting with nature, or even just like engaging in a hobby that brings you joy.
Right.
Or even experiment with the Okinawan Hara Hachibu eating practice.
Okay.
Stopping when you're 80% full.
80%.
These seemingly small shifts
Right.
can actually create like a ripple effect leading to greater awareness and a deeper connection with your own sense of purpose.
So it's not about making like huge, drastic changes.
No.
It's about just little by little.
Little by little, yeah.
Cultivating that awareness.
Yeah, and aligning your actions with, what brings you joy.
And speaking of listening to your inner voice,
Yes.
one of my favorite quotes from the book is, "A happy person lives in the moment."
Such a good one.
Such a simple statement, but I feel like it just says so much
Yeah.
about the importance of just being present.
Being present, yeah.
Yeah, and mindfulness. And, it's a reminder to shift our focus away from anxiety about the future or regrets about the past.
Absolutely. And when we're fully present, we're more open to those moments of joy and connection
Mm-hmm.
that, kind of fuel our Ikigai.
Yeah, and there's another quote that I really loved, which is, when you find your Ikigai, you don't need to rush through life. You simply enjoy the journey.
I love that quote.
I love that too. And it just reinforces that idea that finding your purpose isn't about like reaching this destination.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about the whole journey.
It's about the journey.
Yeah. And recognizing that, life isn't a race to be won, but it's an adventure to be savored.
Absolutely. And when you're aligned with your Ikigai, even the challenges and the setbacks, they
Right.
just become opportunities for growth and learning,
Right. So if we were to like distill this whole essence of Ikigai into a few takeaways,
Okay.
what would you say?
I'd say like first and foremost, it's about finding your purpose.
Okay.
That why that gets you out of bed in the morning,
Right.
with that sense of enthusiasm and direction.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's that wisdom of the Okinawans.
Yeah.
Embrace a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Nurture your connections with friends and family. And just cultivate a positive mindset.
Absolutely. And, even small changes can make a really big difference.
Yeah.
So start by incorporating mindful practices into your daily routine,
Right.
whether that's meditation or spending time in nature or even just, slowing down and savoring each moment.
Right. It's about creating a life that isn't just about survival.
Yeah.
It's about thriving.
Absolutely.
A life that's full of purpose and joy and connection.
I love it.
Yeah. It really is about creating a life where you're like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm so excited to wake up today.
Yes.
Because you're living in alignment with your Ikigai.
Yeah.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive
It has.
into this whole concept of Ikigai.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, what final thoughts would you leave our listeners with?
What resonated most with you today? What sparked your curiosity? Those feelings? Those are the seeds of your own Ikigai. So nurture them, explore them, and see where they lead.
I love that. It's not about having all the answers right away.
No.
But it's about being open to that journey of discovery.
Exactly.
Ikigai is a truly inspiring read.
It is.
It offers these practical steps and profound insights for creating a life full of purpose and joy.
If you're even a little bit intrigued, I encourage you to check out the book yourself.
Yeah.
There's so much more to uncover, and who knows?
Yeah.
It might just be the key to unlocking your own unique reason for being.
You can find your copy at the link in the description.
Yeah.
And subscribe to Books and Bytes for more insightful summaries.